to the top 5 best hypercars in GTA 5 online. Now, this is just my personal opinion. Mainly, this is going to be based on looks and basically just handling as well as speed. And most of these cars are coming from my arena workshop, but there is one that is not in here. So, again, these are just based on mostly looks, but other times it is the speed and looks combined. But mainly just looks, though. So, of course, without any further ado, let's just get into this, because I'm just going to F myself up otherwise. So starting off at our number 5 spot, we have the SOTL-Hyper. And this car costs about $1,980,000. And the reason why this makes it into the top 5 is obviously this thing does not go very fast. But if we take her outside here, I don't know if it's going to be nighttime or not, but that's the best time you can see this thing. My God, I'm very sorry if I'm having a lot of trouble speaking here, and wow, messages galore. But this thing has the brake lights that go all the way across the back. The reverse light almost makes it look like an angry mouth in the back there. Combined with that, with the tail lights as well. I don't know, something about that Chevelle logo also looks pretty nice to me. Now, of course, the license plate could be in a better location, but hey, man, I'm not Rockstar Games, so I don't decide that kind of stuff. What is going on? I just hear explosions and crap. But some of the customization options, like it's lit for the skirt and the diffuser, it's okay, but it's still kind of strange considering, you know, what we usually have as customization options for our cars. You know, I don't know what's up with that, but hey, man, if you want some LED stuff on your car, there you go. So that's number 5. Solely on looks, though, even the speed isn't exactly the best, but it is definitely amazing for handling, and it's mainly a looks kind of car, which I have a lot of those kind of cars, and it's what I would call a cruiser. And I know I say a hypercar, this one's more of a supercar than a hypercar, but it definitely has the price of a hypercar, which is kind of breaking the rules a little bit, but hey, it's my list, I can do what I want. So, number 4 is going to have to be what used to be my dream car in this game. Well, it's obviously not my dream car anymore because I have it now. It is the Overflood Tyrant. This car is really cool, not just because of the name, obviously, but it's another one of them sort of cruiser kind of vehicles, sort of a looks kind of car. Client job, steal the diamonds, I could care less. But this car costs $2,515,000. What's really cool about this thing, in terms of its looks and everything, is not just the LED strip headlights, but also whenever you turn on the high beam, it almost looks like an angry, almost like an animal having an angry eye. Whenever you look at the high beam, it looks like almost a very angry kind of eye, like a furrowed in frustration kind of eye. And why did I turn off the light? But the interior is nothing new. It's mainly just the kind of stuff we saw in many other cars. But it doesn't have a back window though, so if you do hit the button to look behind you and hold it down, you'll just see the front of the car. And honestly, I think the front and the back combined, they look pretty cool. Now, the only thing with this car that I really found interesting anyway, was that if you actually tint your windows, the tail lights actually get tinted, which is something you might want to know if you're planning to buy this car. The exhaust, obviously this is not the stock exhaust, because, well, the exhaust looks a lot different than... Okay, I'm just not even going to ask about that. Random down a cop car, just flying through the air, just like my X80 Proto did when it spun around one of those poles up there. I'm still trying to figure out how that happened. License plate is pretty strange positioned, but at least it's not like floating. So, reverse light is at the very bottom though, which is pretty appropriate for it. And it's mainly more of a track kind of car. It's more of a touring car, but still, it looks nice. It looks amazing to me. The only real problem with it though is not just the tinted windows, like tinting your tail lights, because this doesn't really fit tinted windows either way, because it's more of a spaceship interior kind of car, in my opinion anyway. But the thing with this car is that it's absolutely massive in size. It's got those nice gull wing doors, but it is absolutely huge. Like, this is as Mr. Boss for the Win put it in his video, it's a big boy car. And it actually really is. It's one of the few things that Mr. Boss for the Win has said that's actually true. So, no hate on the guy though, because, you know, I don't have any say in what he does or anything like that. So, that's the Overflow Tyrant. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have one of the best looking cars in the entire game, to me. This is the Pro-Gen Tyrus. The car is another one of them really expensive cars. And the thing with this thing, wow. The thing with this car is that, you know, I have seen other people using the Typon, the Tyrant. Not once in my entire time playing GTA 5 have I ever seen another player other than myself using this car. This car is very underrated, and I don't know why. I like the look of this car because of, you know, it looks almost like a modern kind of race car in the front, but then it looks almost like a sports classic in the back. And that looks really, really, really cool. Of course, this car is based on a couple different vehicles. The first one it's based on is the Celine S7 Twin Turbo, and the second is the McLaren F1 GTR Longtail, which is why the back is so unbelievably large. And that's basically to store its massive engine, which we can actually expose if we decide to, we decide to open up all the doors. So, see a little bit of the engine in there, but all the electrics and stuff are in the back. So, that's the Tyrus. And not much really needs to be said about this. Also, this has the... I don't know why have Rockstar not really copied this interior. Of all the interiors you couldn't copy, this has to be the one you couldn't copy. Like, honestly, come on, Rockstar. What is going on? I just hear explosions in this lobby. I might have to go into an invite-only lobby for this to actually work. But, the car itself, though, it's very nice inside and outside. And, you know, that kind of combination between a modern car and a classic car is what makes this car really good, in my opinion. Alright. Now, let's see if it takes nearly as long to load as it did last time. How amazingly surprising. It's taking like 5 years to load in. There we go. Oh, if you haven't noticed, by the way, the character, whenever the butterfly door opens and closes, the character actually does pull the door down and push it shut whenever the door opens or closes. Which is another thing that's actually really unique about that car. Now, we're getting to the good stuff. Number 2 is going to have to be the... Wait, we're on number 2, right? Yep, alright. So this is going to be the Pfister 811. And you might have remembered this car from a while back, actually. This is actually the car that was featured in the first video that I uploaded to this channel. It was titled Pfister 811 Stunt. It's still up today. If you guys want to go watch that. I hear, like, gunshots or something outside my house right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's people putting off fireworks or something. There's no way to really know. The thing with this car, and the reason why it's on this list at all, is because of its insane speed. Sure, it looks amazing too, which, don't get me wrong, this car looked amazing until that happened, but this car still looks amazing. Alright, it looks really good. It's based on the Porsche 918 Spider, and it's definitely got the speed of a Porsche 918 Spider. Seriously, look at where the speedometer is. This goes about 140 down a highway. This is not, obviously this is not a highway, but we're going to be going down the highway in a second, because I'm going to have to drive up to my facility to see the final car. Actually, how about we just make this easier? Let's make this easier. And then we can just call it the mechanic and have him deliver the final car. Make this special. and then I'll have to drive this thing all the way back up there again.
You calling for some wheels? I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up.
Wait, wrong way. Facility, that.
It's on the way. Alright, I'll get back to work.
Alright then. Just gotta wait for that to get delivered though. But overall, the 811 though, I don't think there's very much that needs to be said about that thing. But now the final car up here. No. Okay. Be a good player, please. Alright. Final car is going to be the Benefactor Krieger. The thing with this is that it's very similar. It's very similar to... Would you learn how to drive AI? But it's very similar to, you know, the Pro-Gen Emirates. It's very similar to that in terms of its performance, but the thing with this is it actually has a bit of an advantage over that, because the car is actually all-wheel drive, while the Emirates is rear-wheel drive. This car is based on the Mercedes-Benz AMG 1, and that car in real life might fail because of the F1 engine. Just saying, it might fail, and most likely will if they don't change up the engine. But for now though, the car in GTA 5 that's based on, well, that is based on the AMG 1 is awesome. It hits pretty good speeds on the highway, and come on, if you were to crash it like that, then it gets right back up and goes again because of that all-wheel drive, which is what the advantage is on this car over the Emirates. Not to mention, this is one of the few supercars, like one of the few cars that are in the super class in the game that you can actually put a super transmission on. And the super transmission, it's pretty rare to see that on cars that are already in the super class. Usually it's just a racing transmission, or race transmission, or whatever it is called in Rockstar's terminology, but usually it's just that. But this one you can go all the way up to a super transmission, which gives you even more acceleration than it would normally probably be. But this car, it's number one in my book because of just the incredible performance, the amazing looks of it, especially from the front coming right at you. And overall, the car is somewhat new as well to the game because it was introduced in the Diamond Casino and Resort update, not the heist, but the normal Diamond Casino. And handling is really, really good. You can go really fast and not have to worry about and not have to worry about losing control of the thing because traction is there. This car checks every box. It has all-wheel drive. It has really good traction, which provides good handling. The steering is really good on this car, and not to mention it sounds amazing. And if you don't believe me, here it is, the sound. Sure, it might be the same sound as the overflowed Autarch, but it don't matter. It still sounds amazing. Which is why this car, again, comes in at our number one spot. So, that's the top 5 best hypercars in GTA 5 in my opinion. Of course, again, this is just my personal opinion, but if you guys do agree with me, then let me know in the comments, and if I missed anything, let me know what your top 5 list of best cars in GTA 5 that are, like, in the super class would be. And some of you guys might agree with some of these on there, so if you guys want to make some lists in the comments section, feel free. So, that'll be it for this one. Let's end this broadcast at the burnout, because why not?